If at any point you need further explanation or want to ask a question, you can do so by passing a note to the judge via an usher. If you feel unwell, need to use the toilet, or are distressed by the evidence, please don't be afraid to tell someone. Again, pass a note or simply raise your hand to get the usher's attention. It's vital that your opinion is based purely on what you hear and see within the courtroom, and you aren't influenced by any outside factors.
Right, well, that's it, isn't it? 30 seconds into my recording, and this is 8 minutes 52 into this little briefing on juries. So, effectively, if you're not meant to be influenced about anything outside of the courtroom, then what about if you support the campaign? And then it's talking about the judge choosing. I thought juries were completely and totally randomly chosen, and then it's saying the judge can pick people off or challenge them. Can you actually rebuff his challenge? Saying that the judge can challenge them, but what does that mean by a challenge? That word challenge is challenging them. How is it fair and random if the judge is choosing who can't give evidence? What happens if every single person in there is chosen who supports the campaign? Is he going to pick them all off and then choose some more? Then what happens if everybody in the country supports the campaign? You know, this is why after the Civil War, with Royalist and Roundhead forces and different courts supporting different sides and juries, why it's not allowed in political cases. And she just said there, any outside influences. What happens if every single person who could possibly be chosen on the jury is influenced already before you go in there because they're either being taking part in the protests? You know, it's just stupid, this.
Please don't discuss any details of the trial with anyone other than your fellow jurors, not even your family. And please don't remove any items of evidence or notes from the courtroom. It is very important that if...
We could remove any items from the courtroom when it's full. I'll rewind back in a minute.
Anyone approaches you about the trial or tries to influence you in any way, you do not discuss it with any members of your jury and tell the jury officer or usher immediately. An important notice to all jurors. You are reminded it's a criminal offence punishable with a fine and/or imprisonment for a juror to disclose to any person any particular statements made, opinions expressed, arguments advanced, or votes cast by the members of the jury in the course of their deliberation.
Yeah, what about if they're not even allowed to be in there in the first place, if the entire trial is unlawful? Huh? You didn't figure that one in? What if it's an illegal prosecution? Because the jury and the defendants happen to be all engaged in the same political action of which is being brought, you know. And what about that case at the Old Bailey, which that Penn case, where jurors can't be punished for giving back they can't be punished for giving back a verdict. That's for sure. As for disclosing evidence and so forth, fair enough. But when I'm talking about cases where the trial's illegal and unlawful, well, you can pass him a message and a bit of paper, or pass him the judge a message and a bit of paper that I have been I know once you've been charged, once you've been given jury powers, and so well, this is all illegal, Your Honour, by the way. And I think you should be placed under arrest. Pass him that message and see what he thinks.
This means you must not speak to anyone at all about the cases you hear, apart from your fellow jurors, and when you are all...
Well, apart from your fellow jurors, what happens if you're all sworn in and signed on a petition? What happens if you're all sworn in and signed in on the writ of a petition and its mission? What happens if Gail Bradbrook is got everyone to sign a petition on the environment and they're all sworn in on it, and some of them get picked up for jury duty at random, fairly, and we're going to pick them all off? What happens if everyone in the country signs it? Right? What happens if everyone in England signs it? Is the judge going to pick them all off and not have a jury? No, exactly. Well, they're already sworn in. What happens if they're already sworn in? They're already sworn in on the case with the fellow people who are signed up to the petition in that casework. How do you figure that in? We're all sworn into the pledge of the oath of this petition casework as signed signatories to this petition casework. Then what are we doing on trial prosecuting the person who brought the case? That was leading our case. It was just a minute. It's almost like, you know, like Keir Starmer in court prosecuting his own police officer who brought his evidence for him, or his fellow CPS staff or something, or the the Attorney General prosecuting the Chief Crown Prosecutor because they're all sworn into the same case. You know, what's going on here? Oh, Your Honour, it's a jury full of people who support Gail Bradbrook. What's she doing on trial? Well, they're all sworn in on a case against the government, Your Honour. Well, are they going to give evidence? Well, they're going to clear her as not guilty. Well, I'm not surprised if they're already if they're all part of the you know they've already been charged. They've already been charged with pledging to the casework, Your Honour.
Together. You must not use social networking sites to post details about any aspect of your jury service or about the discussion
This was 6 years ago, can you believe this?
and decisions made by you and your fellow jurors whilst in deliberation. You will also commit a criminal offence if you use the internet to research details about any cases you hear, along with any other cases listed for trial at the court.
Really? It's an offence to research any case. What? Like one that you're actually already part of, participating in? Oh, Extinction Rebellion have got 100 million supporters. Well, not 100 million. They might have, like, you know, what happens if they've got 100,000 supporters, you know, and 3 of the jury are on there. Well, it's illegal for me to research my own the case that my leader is up on trial for, Your Honour. I don't need to research it. I'm fully informed on it. I know more than the rest of the court because I'm signed up to it. You know? Really? Surely, get me a wig. Where are the wigs and the toft?
Please ensure you and fellow jurors observe the rules, and if you have any concerns about this, please speak to a member of court staff. The judge or discussions and act as a spokesman may decide to accept a verdict that is not unanimous. The judge will tell you when this is appropriate. Once the jury has reached agreement, you'll return to the courtroom and the clerk will ask the foreperson to deliver the verdict. If this is you, be very...
I've never been chosen for jury duty in my whole life. I don't know how they managed to get through. You know, there must be quite a lot of people going on it. Quite interesting. I think they seem to avoid people of of good opinion. I think there's something sketchy going on with it. There's definitely something sketchy and dodgy going on. Not that I'd want to do it anyway, but, you know, people of good opinion seem to be given a wide berth.
Careful to answer only those questions asked by the clerk.
Has the jury reached a verdict upon which you all agreed?
Yes.
Do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
After this, the jury's role in the trial is over, but you should wait for the judge to tell you when to leave. If you found
I thought they get discharged. Don't they get discharged?
the defendant guilty, the judge may not pass the sentence on the same day. If you have any queries during your jury service, you can always speak to the
I thought they meant to be discharged.
jury officer or telephone the court office. The phone number
Why do they need to be discharged? If there's something wrong with the case, why do they need to be discharged? I think he's discharging them when he tells them to leave. I think that discharges them.
is on the jury summons. If you are summoned again within 2 years, you have the right to refuse or may serve if you wish. After your service, you are entitled to claim certain expenses and an allowance towards any loss of earnings or benefits arising from your attendance at court. The jury officer
Well, that's interesting because there's plenty of people got some money to claim back for cases brought to the government.
will give you expenses forms and further details. Each morning before the courts sit, there's a roll call of jurors.
Can you please answer your names? Michelle Sharp.
If you fail to attend during your
What are they all doing sat there? They're all just sat in the main court. Does that mean they might be sat with defendants and witnesses and defendants. Doesn't seem right, does it? They're just sat in the normal court building. They're meant to come at different times or what? Seems strange. Although I think they made sure that when I went to Loughborough, there was absolutely no one in there at all, not a soul, to make sure there are no witnesses to witness to anything.
Period, the judge may fine you. It's really important that you arrive at court each day on time. If you face
You get fined if you can't be punished.
any delays travelling to the court or are ill, please contact your jury officer immediately. Always remember to bring your summons with you.
You actually get summoned. You actually get given a summon. I think it's more like a court.
Sometimes delays outside our control mean you might have to wait around for some time. We realise this is frustrating and assure you we do everything possible to keep it to a minimum.
I thought they're supposed to go in a different entrance or something.
Please remember that you must get permission from court staff to leave the jury area or the court building. We hope you'll bear with us. We do apologise and thank you for your patience. Most of you can expect to have finished your jury service within 10 working days, but some trials can last longer. If you're selected to serve on a longer case, you'll be given an estimate of how long is expected to last. And if you can't commit to that length of time, you'll have the chance to let the court know. Please don't be afraid to let staff know of any difficulties that you have. Because every stage of the selection is random, some jurors may end up trying a number of cases, and some may not be selected to sit on a trial at all. If you have any problems reading, writing or understanding English, or if you have difficulty hearing or have any other disability which may affect your ability to serve as a juror, please inform a jury officer. It can be confusing, so it helps to have some idea of who's who and where they sit. The judge controls proceedings from the bench at the front of the courtroom. A High Court judge is called my lord or my lady. A circuit judge is called. Facing the bench are the two legal teams representing the prosecution and the defence, who are always closest to the jury. Each team has an advocate who will be wearing a black gown and usually a wig. They will present and argue their case to you. The defendant sits in the dock and will often be accompanied by a dock officer. Witnesses give evidence from the witness box or sometimes via video link or behind a screen. Finally, there's an area in the courtroom for the press and the public gallery. Please remember that you are not allowed to smoke or take pictures inside a courtroom. When a trial is ready to begin, the jury officer will randomly select a panel of around 15 people to go into the courtroom. If your name isn't called out, please stay in the jury waiting area for the next trial to be called. When in court, the court clerk will select 12 names at random from the panel and call them out. If your name is called, confirm your identity by saying yes loudly and clearly and take a seat in the jury box.
Box, please. Paul Barnes.
Yes.
Rita Alba.
Yes. At this point, the defence or prosecution lawyers may challenge the selection of a particular juror. If the judge
Defence or prosecution lawyers may challenge the choice of a particular juror. What? Or maybe if they've got information on certain people or know that they're in connection with. Well, that's the thing. Well, why would they be challenging a juror? You know, clearly not by race, gender, or religion, surely, because that's discrimination. Unless they know that it might be, you know, what happens if they've been investigating the thing and it happens to be by total fluke of the draw, a friend or colleague or someone. And this is when we get to it. Oh, it's a member of the petition, Your Honour. It's a member of the. I challenge the choice of these jurors. They're all members of the campaign group on the same campaign. You know, what campaign's this? Oh, the political campaign that they engage the actions for. Oh, what's that? I didn't know it existed. I just thought they were here for breaking a window. Oh, no, they did it for a political campaign, Your Honour. Oh, what's that called? Extinction Rebellion. Oh, yes, that's why they did it. That's what they're doing it for. They're all signed up to the same action. Oh, this is impossible. How could this happen? That means the jurors might be prejudiced to this. Well, actually, it happens to be actually a legal action, Your Honour, to Parliament. You're joking me. No. And, you know, oh no, well, we can't have these juries in there. Well, actually, maybe did you think, Your Honour, that you can't have the case at all? It turns out half the town's behind it. Pick some more. They're all coming in. They're all going Exit Rebellion clothes now, Your Honour. Oh, what should we do? Well, have you ever thought that you shouldn't be having the case in the first place because it's illegal? Has that ever crossed your mind? Oh, look, there's a couple of Roundhead soldiers coming in now with wigs on. Oh, what's happening? All the jury are wigs. Oh, better get some Roundhead ones in there. Oh, well, are you trying to prejudice and pick out what jury are from where? I'm not surprised that the prosecution might have an issue with choosing some of these. It's a miracle the case got into courtroom in the first place. Why aren't you calling out for political rights claim? They're just putting a defence in. Well, I don't think they knew they could claim a political rights claim, Your Honour. Well, how does the prosecutor know that that's their friends in who've been chosen for the jury because they're aware of the political campaign, Your Honour? So are you saying this is a political campaign to the government or not? Well, it is, but due to overriding objectives, we kind of hush that one and give a wink, nudge. We're just making them put a normal defence in, otherwise they might be claiming rights that they're already engaged in prior proceedings to higher authority, Your Honour. Oh, it's a mess.
Accepts the challenge, the juror won't be required to serve on that particular case, and they'll be asked to leave the jury box. You may be challenged for men.
That's it. Everyone leave the courtroom. I do apologise. It turns out these proceedings are unlawful. I'll have to call off the entire thing. This is it. I think the judge has just had a moment of enlightenment. He's just been enlightened, had a moment of deep insight.
Different reasons, so don't take it personally if it happens to you.
I think DJ Watson took it personally when it happened to him. He had a little moment.
If you're not challenged, then you'll be asked to take the juror's oath. This is usually done by taking a holy book of your choice.
Oh, here we go. So I thought this took place in the back room. They're showing it now in the Ministry of Justice that this is just something you do in the courtroom. So who's charging him with the power then? Because the judge isn't reading that words out. He's not reading the words out. They're just doing it in front of everyone. Is the clerk charging him with the power? Who's charging him with the powers? Who's charging him? They're being charged with powers, and then they're discharged afterwards. And they're being called. The call. They've had the call to the bar, and now they're being charged.
And reading the oath from a card.
It's like a defendant who's charged, and then he can defend. He can do what is legally necessary to defend his case. Possibly will even ask for warrants to be issued.
I swear by Almighty God that I will faithfully try the defendant and give a true verdict.
If you do not want to swear on a holy book, you can ask to affirm.
I'd like to affirm, please. I do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm.
The words are very similar to the oath and carry equal meaning. Please let the usher know your preference before you enter the court.
How can they have equal meaning? What if you're an atheist? How is there an equal meaning? If you're an atheist and you do not believe in God, how is there an equal or same meaning? There can't be, because you don't believe in a God. Now, fair enough, if you're a Hindu or if you're a Buddhist or an Islam or something, then you've got a different God. But if you're atheist, how can she just say all the words have the same meaning? Equally the same meaning? They can't equally have the same. What if Richard Dawkins goes in there and he goes, there is no God? How can they have equal the same meaning? There is no equal or same meaning, is there? This is because, what about divine intervention? There are legal clauses for divine intervention. How can you sit and judge a case that presented, well, you can have this can happen. What happens if you presented a case which had evidence presented of a divine intervention, which is a legal argument, but you've just sworn in on a jury that doesn't necessitate you to believe in God, or if you're an atheist and you don't actually believe in a God, then there's no way on earth that you're going to believe in divine intervention. Therefore, if you know, how can the jury come to a safe verdict with at least one person who's an atheist on the jury? Isn't that a reason for the judge to strike them off at the first place or challenge them? You know, in fact, what happens if the defendant is a Christian and the case is something to do with like praying outside this whole thing with getting arrested for protesting outside abortion clinics or something like that? And what happens if it has some matter of faith in there and one of the jurors is an atheist? Oh no, well the jury didn't strike, the judge didn't strike him off, didn't challenge them. I'll challenge a lot of them, because you can't have that. You can't have it. I don't think that you can have it, because that means that there's no way, if you've got a atheist on there, there's no way at all possible that he could agree to believe. You'd have to be, you basically have to prove a case for him that God exists for him to even believe it. So, all this new shenanigans with, different oaths and swearing and lot is, in my opinion, absolute, complete and total massacre of 2,000 years of legal proceedings, of established law, just because a couple of woke BBC people want to try and bring up to scratch. Why don't they bring them up to scratch with the religion of the country that they're in and the legal proceedings? It doesn't matter about the religion. What about people who are using the religion? What about people who rely on religion for court cases? We'll come to that problem when we get there. Well, I think we're way past there now. I think we've got more problems.
Appropriate card and holy book are readily available.
I swear by the Gita that I will faithfully trust.
After 12 jurors have been sworn,
Are we going to get a fair trial outside an abortion clinic if you're a Catholic, on trial with, Richard Dawkins and a couple of Muslims? That's not going to go down too well, is it? And I would say that, I'll be doing more than challenging the jurors, that's for sure.
those not chosen will return to the jury assembly area, where they may be called upon to serve on another trial.
So the judge, it doesn't look like the judge swears them in. One of the court staff looks like the clerk, from what I've seen. Definitely, it's not going to be the prosecutor, is it? It looks like the clerk literally hands them the oath, which they read out in front of the court. I don't think that the judge doesn't exactly he's not baptising them, is he? You'd have thought that it took a little bit more than just reading it out in front of the judge and the rest of the court. He's not baptising them, and they're not kneeling down. I thought the judge did some sort of backroom kind of like got them to do it in a special little ceremony thing. Turns out not. Turns out they just read it off. So basically they're making a statement. They're making the affirmation and statement, which you can make on paper. In fact, if you complete legal statements and writs and documents properly, the majority part of that oath you have to make anyway in writing, and you can have oaths. The thing about petitioning the king in the first place is that you're pledging the petition to the king, and that the facts are true, if you include everything on there properly. But then again, the thing is, the majority of when the proper way to write to the Queen or to the King is to include that blah 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 will be your lawful servant, blah blah blah, that is the allegiance pledge on the letter, which I've written to the Queen when I petitioned her at the time, until she didn't uphold my rights or any. She didn't uphold my right to petition or anything. Or make any proper effort to assist in any way. So therefore, I told her she can go stick it. She didn't uphold. I put my pledge, brought my case in evidence, and they just completely and totally they unlawfully denied my rights. So I told them to stick it. at a later time. So, my petition case was fully pledged and sworn in when submitted, and so forth. And they disrespected the law, and they disrespected our rights, and the petition as well. So, and the judge basically, Watson, he might as well be on Mars. He's not even on this planet, that guy. I mean, he doesn't even know I don't even know what he knows what those pledge signatures and documents are on these things. In fact, I've just got a video of the Cub Scouts motto. The Cub Scouts, you do my duty to God and the Queen. The Cub Scouts have got more charge than most petitions these days. When you come out of the Cub Scouts, you've literally had more of a you've affected. According to statements and law, you literally might as well be a justice of the peace when you come out of Cub Scouts. The amount of swearing in you're doing and motto pledges to the King and God and doing your duty, never mind dib, 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 dab, dab, dab with a bit of ink and pad. I think I've only just got that joke, dib, 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 dab, 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 dibbing a fountain pen in some ink and dabbing it on paper. By the time you come out of Cub Scouts with all those badges on you and the amount of pledges to the King and God and doing your duty and so forth, you might as well walk into a court and, arrest half at magistrates and take them out. You might as well commit them to prison by the time you finish swearing in.
Once the jury has been selected, the court clerk will read out the charges made against the defendant and the trial will begin.
Particulars of the offence are on the 25th day of September 2014.
If you realise you know anyone or have any other connection with the trial on which you're serving, tell the usher immediately.
We haven't heard all the evidence.
Oh, yes. I happen to be supporting this campaign that they're hearing the trial for. What campaign? They're here for breaking a window. Oh, it was broken on behalf of a campaign. Oh, what campaign's that? Extinction Rebellion. That's the one that I'm signed up for in Gail Bradbrook's pledge and motto. You must adhere to the 3 principles of Extinction Rebellion. You can only use the logos and writing if you agree to the morals and values of the cause. Ah, interesting. This exists, does it? Yes, that's what we're doing. It's all in writing, all this? Well, yes, it happens to be in writing. Yes, it's official. Oh, unbelievable. What's going on here? We've even got evidence. It's been laid to the government.
Whether he's guilty.
All criminal trials follow a similar pattern. The prosecution begin by outlining details of the offences. Then the witnesses are called, sworn and questioned. This is called evidence in chief.
Oh, the witnesses are sworn as well. Oh, we're all sworn in. Now they're all swearing in to give evidence, so they can't make judgments, though. They're only there to give a statement. Well, but it's a true one, though. It's an honest statement. Right? They have to make an oath that it's the truth. In fact, I've just realised that's one thing the petition committee with their standards actually don't put on that petition. Actually, is it? That's one thing the petition committee's failed to do. They haven't put the if they put the statement of truth on there, I swear that these true facts are true. You see, this is the thing. The petitions committee at the moment, when you attach evidence to a petition, like I submitted that petition to amalgamate to Teslari's petition with the evidence of the 1700 Act of Settlement on there, and then what the petitions committee are going, oh, we can't accept this petition, it might contain libelous or false information or blah, blah, blah. Just a minute. This is my statement that is the truth, and it's to be heard. And, the public have to read it. I swear it is the truth. And I said, I pledge of allegiance, or maybe because it's not. Oh, we can't be. This is not a pledge of allegiance to the Conservative Party. Or a pledge of allegiance to the Labour Party. Oh, look at this. They're wanting to end 15-minute cities on this petition. Oh, you can't have that one. Well, of course we can. We can have some legislation to prevent 15-minute cities or make it extremely difficult. Oh, you'll have to go petition the local council. No, I won't. That's if I want it stopping in my council. I'm talking about in England. Oh, this is not very good for the Tories or Labour. They both kind of, they both like 15-minute cities. They want to do it. Well, that's not my problem. Oh, I swear. Oh, just a minute. Here's a new little clause appeared on the bottom of the petition. I swear, I promise that I will do my duty to the Tory party and the Labour. Major two parties, I pledge my allegiance to them. Oh, now you can publish the petition. Oh, look, it's Keir Starmer. Oh, there's a petition to build more houses, more powerhouses for Keir Starmer. I promise that I will pledge my allegiance to Keir Starmer and Rishi Sunak. Oh, now you're in. Oh, get it published. Get it up there on the Petitions Committee website. I swear that these links, my best ability and knowledge, are the truth. Well, I would hope they're the truth. It's the 1700 Act of Settlement from the government's own website, Your Honour. Oh, there's no honour around here. I'm the Right Honourable, the Right On, not Your Honour, you know. Oh, look, I've just noticed a petitions committee rejecting petitions for not being up to standard or containing possibly libelous or false information. Well, if I'd have put my, I've checked this all over, and this is my statement. It's not true or false. It's based on my opinion. And what I saw or what I didn't see on the 12th of February, 2011. How is it false? How is it false or libelous? It's not factual evidence. It's not based on. It's not out of the dictionary. You know, it's my statement. I'm the only witness to all those events that happened. How can it be false or libelous? Hey, look, it's the chair of the Petitions Committee. Hey, I'm just putting my statement on my petition. Well, you can't have that on there. It may be false or libelous. What are you talking about? No one. I'm the only witness. I'm the only person who was there. No one else knows whether it's false or libelous or not. I'm the only person who could possibly know whether it's the truth or not, because I'm the only person who was there. This is my statement. Oh, we can't publish it. What do you mean? You know? Oh, it's a link. It's just a link on my website. Well, yeah, I checked the information over and I believe it to be the truth. You know, it's just a couple of muppets. Look, MPs. I'm elected MP. I've been sworn in. Yes, but what qualifications do you have? None. You know, it's the Secretary of State for Transport. You know, what jobs have you had before this? Oh, pick pumpkins and pumpernickels. I don't care now. It's Andrew Pigeon as a scientist. You know. Andrew Bridgen, what qualifications do you have? Not ones in law. You know, what's going on here? It's a petitions committee of all parliament. Yes, the World Health Organization are attempting to take away the rights of all England. Override them all. Oh, we better stop them. Quick, Tess, get some signatures. Oh, and make sure you write a strong case on there. You've only got 50 words to... You only got 500 characters or something. Ooh, it's going to be rejected. And then, come on, Dr. Tess Leary, give us your best statement. Oh, just a minute. Oh, it's all right. Oh, it's been accepted because she's Dr. Tess Leary, you know. And there's lots of prestigious professors sign this petition. You've got the MPs rejecting that. Or there'll be, there'll be some complaints to the... To the ombudsman. This is it. Is there anyone in this government competent in anything? Is anyone in the petitions committee? Look, it's a baby form. Look, can you fit the square through the square shape and the star through the star shape? You know, it's play school. Let's look through the round window into the Parliament Petitions Committee. Du-du-du-dun, du-du-du-dun. In fact, it's a legal action. The Petitions Committee is illegal action on merit of Professor Karen Bowie's research paper. It is proceedings. So where's the statement of truth on there? Where is it? Where's the oath? Where's the oath on the Petitions Committee Parliament website? There is none. There isn't one. But it's required, though, in all legal proceedings. It's required. It is required. Where's the oath? Where is it? Well, it's not on there. So no wonder we're rejecting petitions without the oath on there. Then, with the oath on there, then it is the truth, because I swear it is the truth. So get it published and get everyone else to sign it and look at it and see what they think. And then when they're reading it, they can make their statement of truth as well when they sign it. In fact, how is anyone in this country signing a petition without saying that this is the truth to the best of my knowledge? I agree with this petition, and I believe it to be the truth to the best of my knowledge. And I've looked at the evidence presented by the petition drafter, and I've checked it out, and I believe this is the truth. This is what I think. Well, not what you think. Well, yes, but this is not pledged. You're with an allegiance pledge to the Labour Party. Well, that's because it's a Liberal Party petition. It's Keir Starmer. I'm gonna make you a star, Labour voter. I'm gonna make you a star, Labour voter. You pledge allegiance to Keir Starmer. Yes, Your Majesty. I pledge my allegiance to Keir Starmer. And this petition is the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Now, will you publish it, Keir? Of course I will, seeing though it's in line with Labour Party policy. We'll get the 15-minute city petition up there straight away, yes. And I can think of I've got just the exact procedure. We could implement this into the legislation by a few tweaks here and there in the local referendums and act, make it requirement for the council to get authorisation from at least 50% of the electorate before any proposals can be proceeded with in local government. This is it. It literally, it makes you wonder. I think it was the Labour Party who first started the online petitions website. It must have been not. I think it was under Tony Blair, but it likely therefore wasn't that long. How long was Tony Blair in government for? A number of years, but not too many years before Gordon Brown. And that's the guy who abolished the Appeal Jurisdiction Acts. Not that they needed anyway. This is the guy who sold off all the gold. I really don't think that some of these caricatures are capable or competent enough for government. That's not to say that they, can't, make a good show or, knock around numbers and figures like Rees-Mogg. But they definitely have a panache of incompetence around them, mixed in with a facade of professionality, which isn't actually what it purports to be.